Todd ain't finished. Todd ain't finished. Make sure you come ready to go this next week.
How about those?
Are you ready for the best Kansas City Chiefs insight? Welcome to the Four Guys in a Bar podcast, presented by Chiefs Blitz and sponsored by Eric Haynes with the Eric Haynes Group. If you're looking for a real estate expert, call Eric Haynes today at 816-729-3785. That's 816-729-3785. Now, here is your Chiefs Blitz host, Nick Athan, with Lou Montagna, Andre Tillman, and Hense Todd.
Welcome back to Four Guys in a Bar, presented by ChiefsBlitz.com, your number one source for all your Chiefs news and analysis, and of course, where we also have our podcast, Four Guys in a Bar. I'm your host, Nick Athan, alongside my producer, partner extraordinaire, Mr. Hense Todd with Bowtie Sports. Check out his show with Coach Dre every Saturday at 1 o'clock Central Time, and they talk all things Kansas City sports. And before we get on to the topic of the day, and the upcoming game against the Denver Broncos and the fact the Chiefs are the top seed in the AFC and everybody is jealous, let's talk about our sponsors. First up, Mr. Eric Haynes with the Eric Haynes Real Estate Group. If you're looking for somebody who can help you buy or sell a house in the greater Kansas City metropolitan area, there's nobody better than Eric Haynes. From start to finish, he took care of me and my wife Emily, or Emily and I. I'm not sure what's proper anymore. But anyway, he helped us get our dream house, and he was terrific. So if you want the same experience, give him a call at 816-729-3785. You can email them at esaleskc@gmail.com.
Proud sponsor of Chief Who?
That's right. Speaking of my incredible wife, Emily Athan, if you are looking for flexible health coverage options for you and or your family or maybe a small business, there's nobody that understands the private and the private sector along with the government sector in regards to health insurance. So if you want to get a custom quote today, just simply give her a call at 913-215-9086.
Emily.
That's right. And our newest sponsor, Resell Electronics.
Electronics, we offer the best deals on new and pre-owned TVs, game consoles, cameras, plus so much more. With 2 convenient locations along Nolan Road in Independence. Stop by and visit us today.
That's right. Resell Electronics for all your consumer electronic needs. They will buy your old stuff. They'll sell you new stuff at a great price. 2 locations at your convenience, both in Independence at 1214A South Nolan Road and down south on 40 Highway inside the flea market on Nolan Road. They have another location. So whether whatever side of I-70 you're on, they've got you covered. Give them a call today at 816-886-7285. Find out what their specials are, or check out their website at resellwithacelectronics.com.
Resell
Electronics.
Love it, love it, love it. All right, we're joined by the other senior member, Mr. Lou Montagna, and Coach Andre Tillman sporting his Joe Burrow Cincinnati Bengals hat. We'll have a lively debate here in a moment about that. But first and foremost, gentlemen, hope you guys had a great weekend. Obviously, we already talked about the Chiefs' victory in Pittsburgh. Crazy games in the NFL yesterday. Terrific game last night, barring, of course, some coaching blunders. There were a lot of coaching mistakes this weekend. I've never seen as ill-prepared head coaches in crunch time as I've seen in the last Saturday and Sunday in the NFL in a really long time. So, that just kind of ruined the weekend. It gave it a little stain on the weekend. But hey, it is what it is. We don't care because the Chiefs are number 1 seed.
So with that said, talk a little bit about it in the 6-pack, but yeah, very disappointing that teams, situational football.
Yep.
It's
situational football
not
this
good.
year.
Not
a lot
good.
of teams ain't good at it. Yeah.
Let's give a shout out to Ruben, Ken Sinclair. Thank you guys for joining in.
Our number one, our guys who are always first up. We appreciate that very much.
Invite your friends, Ken.
Yeah, invite your friends. Please subscribe if you haven't already.
Ken and friends.
You can. What's that?
I said Ken and friends.
So
yes.
I learned something over this weekend, and it was actually a little disturbing. More on a personal note. So we were kind of on the Luigi Mangione watch while things were happening, and he's still kind of, his name's still out there. Obviously, we're going to see what happens to him and whatever. So some of my daughter's friends were in for the holidays and so forth. And as luck should have it, one of her best friends is a former Penn Quaker. Luigi also went to Penn.
Oh God.
So she comes over and we're talking, and then the name comes up and we have a big laugh. My name's Luigi, his name's whatever. Luigi Mangione was my daughter's friend's next door neighbor for an entire semester, actually for an entire year at Penn. One thin wall separated this insane madman from one of my daughter's friends. It kind of took me by surprise. I got a little creeped out a little bit at first, but as she described him, he was just a really nice guy, very well mannered. I mean, just goes to show you never know.
Yeah, we're certainly not endorsing anything here.
People have that psychotic break, and there's no telling what they did before or after. So,
well, glad
word to the wise.
At least you know. Yeah, well,
this is speaking of a psychotic break. You know what I mean? You have some people that will wear a Chiefs hat, some people will wear a Cardinals hat, and now they got a Bengals hat on. They don't know what team they want to wear.
I'm tired of the icing on the cake with this guy. This guy always got to put the icing on the cake. You scared of Joe Burrow. I think you scared of Joe Burrow.
We're scared of him.
I think Joe Burrow make your beard thicker.
Yeah,
I think that's what it is. He put gray in your beard, sir.
Well, hey, drink your coffee, sir. You mad because
lemon Kanye.
Hey, let's get right into it. We got the 6-pack. That is cringy, Lou. You know what I mean?
We'll give you your chance. We'll give you your Bengals chance here.
Yeah, let's go.
All right, let's do this.
Go ahead, rock out.
Let's go, gang. Here we go. It's that time. It's Monday. It's time for the weekend 6-pack. Rapidly catching up to Chief Who. I don't know where they are, but it's rapidly catching up. But typically this is like 6 things that I saw over the weekend that either made me stop, made me
cringe,
really cringe a little bit sometimes, made me holler, made me upset, any sort of reaction. And Nick hit on it at the top, and we'll start right there with the Saturday game, the middle game, the Bengals and the Broncos, which was wildly entertaining.
Yep.
Kudos to everybody that was involved in that game and some of the dumb things that they did to make it even more interesting because I don't know. I'm watching the game, the last possession of regulation, and I don't always have to bring it back to the Chiefs, but we've seen this play out before in real time.
Mm-hmm.
Was there any way, if that's the Chiefs with the ball in their hands, that the other team sees the ball again in regulation?
No, not even remotely.
That is church mode. That is working the clock, forcing the other team to use up their timeouts, and then kick a field goal on the last play of the game. See you later. Thanks for playing. But no, hell, Chase Brown almost like blows out his knee trying not to score, which I'm thinking, why didn't he just give himself up when they had him in the backfield?
Yeah.
He needs to get closer for some reason. So all of it was kind of shady. Even the few plays leading up to that, it was everybody, the announcer would say, hey, if they play this right, they kick the field. The game's over.
Game's over.
Give no opportunity. I give y'all that right because I called.
Forget about the fact that now I have Denver plus 3.5. Okay, forget about that. Okay,
I will.
I'll never forget that.
I will.
You all can forget that. But situationally, what the hell are we doing?
Right, I don't know, man. I was sitting there watching that game. I was like, man, if this was Mahomes, the great Mahomes, this one would be close. You know what I mean? Mahomes would have this game.
Andy Reid, my bad. Andy Reid.
Patrick Mahomes would have this game put away.
Yeah.
It was like watching 2 garbage men fight over the last bag of trash. That's what I was watching. You know what I mean? I don't know.
A tie game.
It was a tie game.
But you know what crazy about it though? The kicker blew it, man. If you look at like overtime, right? Now I see why he did it. I see why they wanted to. The kicker blew it.
Well, here's the thing. That's the thing, Dre, is that I get it. If you're trying to score, but then why is the running back, he it's just a regular play. Looks like he's going to get blown up. He's quick enough, agile enough to get out of that, starts heading towards the end zone, and then it like dawns on him, wait a second, I'm not supposed to score. So which is it? I mean, are they on the same page?
Know what to do. That's
that's why, and I think I relate it back to the Chiefs, is that they've been in these situations so many times in big games that it's just ingrained in their being. They know exactly how to handle these situations, what they need to do. Timeout, no timeout. Are we taking a knee, or what are we doing? Everybody knows what's happening.
Situational football.
So again, now the Bengals end up winning, but in true Bengals fashion, they give up the lead, in regulation, and then that's the other thing. Sean Payton, it looked like when the kid made the play before they went to review, he's doing this, which basically saying we're going for 2.
Mm-hmm.
They go through the review. Did he catch it? Didn't he catch it? I don't care. They called it a catch. Touchdown. Okay, we're down 1. We're going for 2. And again, mind you, I have Denver plus 3.5. Whatever happens from this point, I win. So, but in terms of him, why? I mean, you've got the momentum. Let's just end this on 1 play.
Do you go for 2, Lou?
Absolutely.
I agree.
Absolutely.
I agree.
Why would
momentum was there?
Why would you go to overtime knowing that there's a chance Burrow gets the ball? They're going to score.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So why even screw with that? Why even make that a possibility? Peyton's probably got 2-point plays that he's forgotten that we're going to work in that situation. Why he changed his mind? Then afterwards he's saying, well, we knew a tie was going to be good for us. Do you legitimately believe
why was
a full 10-minute overtime?
Where was that with 2.5 minutes
scoring?
To go? Hold on. Where was that with 2.5 minutes to go in overtime? They passed the ball twice, run the ball, take time off the clock.
Right.
The Bengals only had 1 time off. You tie the game. You back into the playoffs, and you rest your guys this week.
Well, I kind of, him and Andy Reid are very close friends. So Andy Reid called him, said, hey, we're going to sit our starters. We're going to give y'all the game. Y'all going to be in the playoffs. It doesn't matter what it is.
Hey, Lou,
I'm saying it right now. The Chiefs will win Sunday.
No one's giving them anything. I don't care who's
the
on the
Chiefs have a
field.
chance to go.
Hey, Lou said, I don't give a damn who the Chiefs play. See, everybody talking about, I don't want Lamar Jackson.
You don't like the Broncos. You don't like the Broncos. That's what it is.
Hold on.
You don't like the Broncos, so that's what it is. So that's why I know. That's why Lou said that.
I do not. But still, I back them with my hard American.
You did with your hard American wallet.
It was there. They had it. It was theirs for the taking. They didn't get it done.
Again, you got to put more love on Burrow, even though because the kicker.
We're not putting love on Burrow,
and they had to go for it, and Burrow executed the game.
Burrow was throwing a touchdown at the end of that game. He was not.
You know what's crazy? But you know what's crazy? Real quick, the Bengals secondary is still iffy because Troy Franklin, if you put the ball around the dime, though, he would have had it.
Here's the problem. Here's the problem with the Bengals is that, and we kind of talked about this before the show, and we're kind of maybe go off a little spiral here, but for the moment, it's coaching. First of all, they don't have the coaching.
Yeah, absolutely.
Lou has not had a good job, has done not done good work in getting this defense ready to play each week, and that's not all his fault.
Yeah,
and that's not Zach's fault either. They just don't have ownership to put the financial resources into both sides of the ball. You got Chase, you got Higgins, you got who's the Hendrickson?
Mm-hmm.
All these guys want more money.
He's the only one that's been paid on defense. I mean,
and they're not, and they're just they will not spend the money.
They let Jesse Bates go.
Yeah, they put this all on Burrow.
Reader, I think a lot of the guys
DJ Reader,
gone.
sure.
Yeah.
Listen, again, and so he doesn't have the team that he had last year. No wonder they're 8 and 8 on the season. No wonder they're under the 500 mark in the conference.
And they begging to the Chiefs to let them.
And here's the thing, Nick.
Now again, it's not the same record, but this is kind of like the 2018 Chiefs.
Yeah, exactly.
Is where you have to outscore everybody.
I don't say that.
But they don't. They still lack again the situational football. and just being able to manage the
Championship
clock.
mentality.
All those things that Andy Reid was vilified for in Philadelphia, it took him a long time to get to this point.
It took him a long time to figure that out.
They don't have championship mentality. That's why they are.
Well, they haven't won anything. They haven't won a championship.
So here's my thing, real quick, guys.
All right,
Look at it right now. If they make the playoffs with everything we're talking about, bad coaching, bad defense, right?
Not making the playoffs.
Make it to the playoffs, and Burrow playing at a high level right now. That's what it looks like. That's why I was like, the argument was he makes it to the dance with that right there. You gotta give it to him.
How can you not give it? Okay, on the flip side, why aren't you giving it to
the Chiefs? Because the Chiefs has good coaching, deep offense, great offensive coach, and a great defensive coach.
We don't need it.
Why aren't you giving it to Patrick Mahomes?
But what I'm saying, the Chiefs dominates on that.
We don't hear what you said.
But again, none of those things have anything to do with winning the most valuable player.
Yeah.
So regardless of any of that,
though,
my point. Well, no, I mean,
didn't you say before the show the last person not to go to the playoffs to win the MVP was Johnny Unitas
and the
Jews.
70s?
Yeah. So
okay.
the bottom line, is this: you've got guys that have had equally or maybe even better seasons than Burrow that are locked in the playoffs. Number 2 seed in Buffalo. More than likely going to win their division in Baltimore with Lamar. So again, that's a whole different situation. But situational awareness. Yeah, they failed. It still ended up working out for them, but only because the other team was almost as bad situation.
I think. Okay, the last
another
5 minutes
team
is
all right. Let's go.
Here's another organizational fail. All right, I mean the Indianapolis Colts. WTF. I mean, what the hell was that? Their defense, they're going into New York. Okay. They're 0-8 in their stadium this year. One of the greatest graphics I ever saw was yesterday. I should have written down all the teams, but you have like the Uruguayan national soccer team has won a game in that stadium in that time. The Notre Dame Fighting Irish has won a game in that stadium since the Giants had won at home. Arguably one of the worst seasons in Giants history, and you let them and not Daniel Jones is long gone. Drew Lock rolls up 45 on your butts.
Man, come on, talk about it.
It just unbelievable. You've got a team that's basically holding out for that number 1 pick, and you let them, and you again, maybe not, it's not winning you're in, but win and you still have a chance.
Right.
Now I get it. Anthony Richardson, maybe, I don't know, the massage didn't work and he wasn't able to play again. I honestly don't know what you want to have some great reading. Go read Pat McAfee's tweet from last night.
Oh, I read it this morning.
All the crap that he's taken from the Colts organization for just pointing out a bunch of facts, and he just let it it's the longest tweet I've ever seen, and it's just epic. Yeah. But just what are they? Who are they?
Same thing.
I don't get it.
They won't spend the money to build the team on both sides of the ball.
They've spent a ton of money, Nick.
But
they've paid offensive linemen. They've paid defensive players. They've paid a wide receiver. They paid a running back. And
you get a coach with no experience and expect him to go out there and put it together.
Shane Steichen, I think, is fine. I don't think
it's terrible.
I think that's top down. And I don't. Chris Ballard, all due respect, came out of the Chiefs organization. The accent, the hair, whatever you want to say. I don't understand. It's just a mess.
It's the lack of heart, man.
Anyway, that was number 2. Number 3 was a bunch of milestones. You get to this time of year and you see some of these records and things are broken. And again, I'm going to sound like a broken record here because we've been kind of tooting about him. But Brock Bowers, come on, man. Most receptions for a rookie, anybody, including wide receivers.
You draft him.
Most yards by a tight end, a record. It's held since 1961, and it was Mike freaking Ditka.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's put some respect on Ditka as a player. Think about this for a second. He had the record for nearly 63 years. The Bears have never had a good quarterback. He does it in 14 games with 56 receptions, like half. He averaged 19.2 per catch. Mike Ditka. Yeah. All right. So let's put some respect on that.
Watch some old highlights of him. It's pretty entertaining. He was fabulous.
Saquon goes over 2,000, only the 9th guy to do that. He's 100 yards short of, or 101 yards short of breaking Dickerson's record. For the first time ever, four rookie receivers have gone over 1,000 yards. Brian Thomas Jr., Malik Neighbors, both from LSU. Brock Bowers, Ladd McConkey, both from the University of Georgia. Yeah, I get the SEC is pretty good.
Pretty stacked.
Josh Allen, 40-plus touchdowns accounted for. That's rushing and passing 5 straight years. Never been done before.
Good for him.
Jaden Daniels rushes for the rookie quarterback record, beats RG3's number, and blows it out of the water last night with a $127. Amazing. And I'm sure there's a bunch of other ones, but those were the ones that stood out to me.
Yep.
Going back to some of these bad teams, okay? The Giants win. Jacksonville wins. Las Vegas has won 2 in a row now.
Yep.
Which now means that somehow the Patriots have moved up to the number 1 selection.
Damn.
The Giants have tumbled to number 4, Jacksonville 5, the Raiders 8. So are they
doing the worst part about that was?
Are they doing themselves any
the worst part yesterday was, and I like Drew Lock a lot, just for the record. But we have to. Our job is to win football games. And
absolutely.
They blew it. I mean, the difference between
perspective, they're on the field, they're there to win.
The difference between the 1 and the 5 pick is enormous. It is huge.
Well, the only thing that's kind of saving the Giants is the 3 teams ahead of them may not be looking at quarterback. I mean, you got Drake May.
Trade, but the
Tennessee might be looking quarterback.
How smart was Brett Veach? We have the 2nd pick in the 3rd round. Thank you. For L'Jarius Sneed, who's barely played any snaps this year.
Cleveland, again, they had to restructure Deshaun. It may be time for them to draft a quarterback, thinking that maybe this is the last season for Watson.
They can't add any
and then
they'll
just eat the money next year. But the Giants clearly, and again, it depends on how you got these guys rated. Is it Cam Ward? Is it Shedeur Sanders? Are either of them worthy of that high?
Cam Ward is an issue.
Ward is the best. Ward is the best.
Either way, no matter how you slice it, I don't know that either of them are looked at as can't miss prospects.
No, but Ward is the Daniels of this draft, no question.
You think so?
Yeah, I do.
The only thing I see about him is he never really won anything in college, and
neither did Patrick Mahomes.
But I think, again, his was a different fabric, though, Nick. I mean, I think just the intangible. Again, I don't know, Cameron. We'll see once as we get into the process here and the ratings start coming out and like which teams are looking at him, how he's evaluated. We'll see. But it's going to be very interesting. But it's not over yet. I mean, all these teams. I mean, a bunch of them are tied. These are tiebreakers. You got a bunch of 3-win teams. You got some 4-win teams. So it's still wide open, and we'll see who plays. And that just takes me to the 1:00 window yesterday, which I ended up running a couple of errands. I did some things around the house. I mean, there really wasn't much to it. Now, there were 6 games played before, right? So you had the 2 on Wednesday, Thursday night, 3 games on Saturday. So the 1:00 window gave us these scintillating matchups. The Jets at Buffalo. Yeah, thanks for showing up, Jets. 40-14. Then, of course, you had the Raiders at the Saints. Huge implications. The Colts sort of at the Giants, but seriously, Tampa Bay 48-14 over Carolina. Tennessee, Jacksonville, again, unless you had a fantasy player, Brian Thomas Jr., it really wasn't worth the watch. And then, of course, you had Dallas 41-7, the Eagles, with the likes of Kenny Pickett and Tanner McKee throwing the rock.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was a pretty ugly window. So, again, I just wanted to rant about that a bit.
At least last night's game was good.
It was. It really was. And
bad coaching.
Michael Penix looked good, though. Penix looked good.
He's got an arm, doesn't he?
Boy, don't he, though? He looked good.
He did. But, again, you could also tell it was his second start.
Yeah,
ever.
Yeah, you can tell.
So he's
going to be good.
I think gives the Atlanta fans a lot to chew on and think, wow, this guy's really got a shot. Right?
Hey, how about Kirk Cousins, man? He's manipulated the cash system better than any quarterback in NFL history.
Yeah,
going to end up with over $500 million in money earned.
It's probably going to be
a lot of it guaranteed.
That's
a lot of it guaranteed in a day and age when not so much. No, there weren't many guaranteed contracts.
The last 2 years in Washington was guaranteed.
Because of
Minnesota for 5 years. In 5 years, it was all 4 years.
That was fully guaranteed in
all
Minnesota.
guaranteed. He goes to Atlanta
deals there,
and
almost he was franchise
90% of
twice.
it is guaranteed.
Yeah.
And I think 100 million of the 180 was guaranteed.
Yeah, I thought it was 150, but I could be wrong.
And he might only have to have played
10
games, 12 games.
God love Kirk Cousins, man. He played this brilliantly.
Yeah.
Forget the rings, forget all that. You're going to go out with a bag of $500 million in your career earnings.
And he shops at Walmart.
And
he shops at Walmart.
And he getting drafted was almost an afterthought by Washington.
It was.
They took RG3 number 2 overall, and then they took Kirk in the 4th round. But
they got the better quarterback right now. They're probably the second best quarterback in the league behind Patrick Mahomes and Jalen Daniels. And hey, I'm just saying, you know what I mean? And they probably, make it all the way. It'd probably be Washington and the Chiefs. I'm just saying, you never know.
It's going to be Chiefs and the Vikings. I've seen a vision.
Oh, Vikings. Speaking of that,
you're out on the Packers now.
I don't think
the Packers.
I think what I saw from the Packers yesterday, and I saw from the sidelines and Green Bay sidelines, I don't see it. I just don't think. I don't think they can make the run.
It's going to be a tough road. As good a season they've had, they're may be the 7 seed, if Washington, I think if they win next week and they play Dallas, they lock up the 6. So then they would be the 7th seed, and their first game, I believe, would be in Philly.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I mean, this game Sunday night, Lions and Vikings, the winner's got the 1 seed and the loser's got the 5 seed.
5.
It just doesn't make any sense. You're talking about the 2 best teams in the NFC.
Yeah. Yeah, well, they've talked about reseeding, in the past and whatever.
That's never going to happen.
We talked a little bit about it in the college football playoff, but there's always going to be that one little weird thing and bang. But yeah, I mean, it's going to come down to that game.
So you
Sunday
lost faith in your Packers, Lou. Is that what you're telling me? You lost faith in your Packers?
No, I still think they're good.
No, Lou, they're good. I don't think they're Super Bowl good.
My bad.
I never picked.
No, No. I'm telling you right now. I think that
he confused like his head.
The NFL gods are saying to me, this is my cube. The NFL gods are saying, how delicious would it be for the Chiefs to play the Vikings in Super Bowl 59?
I'm sticking with my pick. I picked the Lions. I'm sticking with them.
Sticking with the Lions.
So
the Lions are slowly falling, though. The Lions are slowly falling.
Well, they're not going to get. They're going to get some of their injured players back. They're not going to get a lot.
They still only have 2 losses, and they're
still a damn good football team.
And they can score at will.
Washington ain't no damn right.
We have plenty of time to discuss the Chiefs Super Bowl opponent.
You know what?
Respect to Olamide Zaccheaus, but I don't know that he's going to carry them through the playoffs. But
I'll put it like this. I know it's Cleese Kingsbury. He got more playoffs wins than the Cardinals right now. He entered the playoff round.
He could get another chance of being a head coach.
He's a hell of an offensive coordinator.
No, he still hasn't won a playoff game. Since
he left.
That's what I'm saying.
Since Kingsbury left, people change their heads. They jump off the bandwagon of their own team. But let's get into the next.
All right,
let's do it.
Number 6 is going to be a group effort. We talked about it a little bit last show where we're talking about these streaming shows and so forth. So we figured, hey, let's give our favorite ones. I didn't rank mine. I'm not giving out an award, but these are some of the shows that I've watched over the year that I really, really enjoyed. So here goes. I'll give you my list and everybody can kind of pick it apart or give out your lists. All right, so in no particular order, Day of the Jackal, starring Eddie Redmayne. I believe that's on Peacock. Fight Night also is on Peacock. That's Kevin Hart, Samuel L. Jackson, Taraji B. Henson. I mean, it's star-studded cast, and it's sort of historical. It's about, Ali fighting, I think, Jerry Quarry in Atlanta, but it really worth the price of admission. Penguin. Shout out to Hense. He recommended it, so I watched it. Great show. Man on the Inside, really underrated. Ted Danson. It's sort of like a dramedy, if you would. It was it's very funny, but it was also some serious stuff about, for lack of a better term, people and their last place they go before they die, like old folks' home. So, but it was really good. Now this isn't a new one, but one that I just thoroughly enjoy on Hulu. Only Murders in the Building. Steve Martin, Martin Short, Selena Gomez, and they also cameos galore. Paul Rudd's been in a few seasons, Meryl Streep, and the list goes on. Plenty. It really good. Right. Black Doves. I think that was on
that's one of my
Netflix. Keira Knightley. British show. I've been watching a lot of British shows. Shout out to Mango and is Mango on with us today? I don't think he is, but shout out to Mango. Another one, another Taylor Sheridan that seemingly has every top streaming show on every platform. Landman.
You're stealing my list
with Billy Bob Thornton. Excellent, absolutely excellent. And tell you what, if you watch the show, Nick. And I'm trying to get Billy Bob's accent, and it seems to change a little bit. But I swear to God, if you like blacked out the faces and you had Billy Bob deliver a line and Coach Saban deliver a line,
I'm not sure it'd be much different.
I don't think you could tell them apart. It's the same. Yeah. It's the same voice. And then the last one I have is The Gentleman, which also was on Netflix, a British show. Just as far as who done it, schemes. Top notch. So I couldn't limit it to 5.
See, I did. I disciplined myself for 5.
Did you?
So I
think I came up with 8. Probably could have come up with a few more, but
yeah,
that's my list.
All right, here's my list real fast. Landman, obviously, Billy Bob Thornton has just been terrific. This is the best Taylor Sheridan show by far, in my opinion. Black Doves. I mean, it was only 6 episodes.
Me more.
Black Doves was brilliant. They're doing a second season.
Keira
Day of the
Knightley.
Jackal. A couple of comedies for me. Shrinking with Harrison Ford on Apple, and then Hacks with Jeannie
Smart.
Yeah, Jeannie Smart.
That's on Max.
It's on Max. Brilliant comedy. One of the funniest laugh out loud. Look at the comedy business. Me being a huge comedian fan. Going way back to the old school guys, the greats. She kind of brought a lot of just watch it. The writing is terrific, but there are a lot of good shows. But I tried to find different genres, but those are my top 5.
For me, go ahead, Bo. Go ahead.
I'll go number 1. I'll go with Stranger Things. That's on Netflix.
I'm 2 seasons behind.
They coming up with season 5. Number 2 will be The Penguin, and that's on HBO Max. Number 3 will be The Ozarks. Netflix.
Forgot about that.
Ozarks. And if you haven't watched OA, it's called OA. It's on Netflix.
Yeah. So we're going for like an all-time list now.
Yeah. I was going back to the last 12 months. But that's okay.
For mine's for real, because I don't watch a lot of.
I want that.
Go ahead.
OA. If you never watched OA, that's what I started watching the series of that. I'm telling you, if I recommend Penguin, I will recommend OA. Go watch that. It's a soccer logic thing, and it's a great show with that. Well, so that was my top. I have 4 or 5. So go ahead, Drake.
I don't really watch a lot of that. Like series is for real puts me to sleep. I'm not really a big fan of that. But the ones I did watch, the Ozark, I watched Tulsa King with Sylvester Stallone, and Power. And Power was one of my favorites.
Power's good too.
Yeah, so that was my favorite.
What's BMX? BMX is
50 Cent.
Yeah, the 50 Cent series, that Power book is just all of it.
First one, that Power that's my favorite.
Ooh, they're making a prequel they're making a prequel.
Yeah, they are.
And they're bringing the 2 stars back, so that's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
So that was the 6-pack, right?
So that was the extended version of the 6-pack. Again, we're waiting for that meat topping. Maybe after the first of the year,
we never gonna get the meat topping.
Change up the graphic a little bit, but drink your beers, drink your drinks. Cheers to everyone. I hear, I mean, my sources close to me tell me that this might be a sponsored segment. It's going
to be soon. Yes, we're working on it. So hang tight.
We'll make that announcement when it becomes.
We will have some new sponsors probably debuting.
We will have pepperoni on the pizza.
Yes.
Until then,
that's when we can afford the meat.
No one in.
We can afford the meat. That's what we can afford the
meat. So with that said, let's get into our sponsors before we go into
one of those meat lovers, man.
All right, we do have an update on the roster. We'll get to that here in a minute. First up, Mr. Eric Haynes with the Eric Haynes Real Estate Group. If you're looking for somebody who can help you buy or sell a house in the greater Kansas City metropolitan area, there's nobody better than Mr. Eric Haynes. You can reach him 2 ways, 816-729-3785. He always answers his cell phone, or you can email him at esaleskc@gmail.com.
Proud sponsor of Chief.
That's right. Another proud sponsor is my incredible wife, Emily Athan. If you're looking for flexible health coverage option for you, your family, or your small business, she understands the government options in the private sector better than anybody I know. If you're confused or if you're looking for a better deal, make sure you give her a call at 913-215-9086 for your free health insurance quote.
Emily.
That's it. It's my girl. Hey, next up, our newest sponsor, Resell Electronics.
Emily.
Get the best deals on new and used electronics at Resell Electronics. TVs, laptops, Apple Watches, cameras, cell phones, plus so much more. And if you're into gaming, we carry new gen as well as vintage consoles. Resell Electronics in Independence.
That's right. Resell Electronics, 2 great locations in Independence. 1214A South Nolan Road in Independence, and then down south, 40 Highway inside the flea market, also on Nolan Road. They've got another location. So if you're looking to buy or sell any consumer electronics, this is your one-stop shop. When you walk in, tell them that Bowtie Sports or Chiefs Blitz sent you, and you get 10% off your next purchase. So check out their website at resellwithacelectronics.com.
Resell
Electronics.
Love it, love it, love it.
So let's get into this update that Mangoes is pushing in the background.
That's right. Update time. We need an update. We need like a dun 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 dun, something like that.
Not breaking news. This is just update. Yeah.
Well,
let's work on. No, that's what I'm saying. Work on that. Let's get different music for that.
That's funny. Yeah, so
let's do it.
All right, we got Chiefs has signed a linebacker to the practice squad. Let's talk about him. Well, practice squad guy.
Yeah, this is it. They've signed a Blake Lynch. I'm going to admit it. I know nothing about Blake Lynch other than he's played for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams: Cardinals, Chargers, Seahawks, Raiders, and Vikings. And obviously, they're looking for depth at the position, and generally they don't add a practice squad player this time of year unless they have some opportunities to bring in another face that could help them if there's another injury.
What's Christensen's status? I think he got hurt. So this looks like to be like a special teams move.
It could be, and Christensen was playing really well on special teams. So again, that's probably what this is. So we'll find out more. The Chiefs will be back at practice on Wednesday. Andy Reid spoke a little bit today, didn't talk about this. But to get something, you got to give up something. And the Chiefs had to release one of the guys who was on the active roster, I think a couple times over the last 2 years. Montrell Williams, the wide receiver, he is gone. And he will be missed. I thought he was good, but I think Nico Remigio has done his job. And then Andy also talked about the injured guys. There is no chance, despite the Instagram posting from Hollywood Brown, that Rashee Rice is going to return this season. Certainly not Sky Moore. Now, McCole Hardman could very well return. I would assume they're going to open, as we've heard, the Super Bowl window for him and also the Super Bowl window for Jalen Watson. Even though Andy says it's a stretch, he kind of said Hollywood Brown initially would be a stretch to come back. So I think
he's always going to downplay.
Yeah, he's downplaying this one, but I think there is a possibility the window opens that if the Chiefs, after the Chiefs win the divisional round that next week, I think there's a chance.
Change your wording, huh? Change your wording.
Both those guys could be. That gives them the 21-day window, so that means they would be eligible for the Super Bowl. That would give each guy 3 more weeks. Remember, there's a bye week between the AFC, NFC Championship game and the Super Bowl. So there's a possibility. I have been told that Jalen Watson is running full speed. We've seen the video. The issue is, how well can he cut and cover and stop and go? These are all things he's working on. But he has basically a month plus to be available for the Super Bowl when the Chiefs get that far. So I wouldn't rule out the possibility, but the window has to be opened the Monday or Tuesday of the championship week in order for that to be possible.
Yeah. All right.
So there you go. Let's
get right into show topics today. So let's get right into it, guys. Go ahead, Nick.
How far should Chiefs scheme to win Sunday? Andy Reid was pretty coy today about all that. There's a lot of rules of thoughts. One, do we want to wreck the season of the Denver Broncos? Do we want to wreck the season of the Cincinnati Bengals by going out there and doing everything we can to win? But then again, you're not going to play Mahomes, Kelsey, Jones, probably not Thuney, probably not your right tackle, probably not your, Isaiah Pacheco. There's going to be a lot of guys who are going to be sitting out this game, and the Chiefs are going to have a limited roster, but some starters are going to have to play for a while. So, I think Andy would be – he knows what he's doing. I'm not going to doubt him here one bit. I will go on record right now. The Chiefs are beating the Broncos on Sunday. It's going to happen. I don't care who they put out there. They're going to beat them. But I think that you have to look at this and say, Andy knows what he's doing. I don't think there's a right way or a wrong way. Man, you're just not going. You're going to beat that horse till it's completely dead.
He can keep beating it until we beat him. Keep beating it.
I don't think this is an issue where Andy's going to overly think. I think there's going to be a lot of guys. Carson Wentz is playing for something like a starting job next year. So This is huge to me. This is huge to him. Other than that, just go about your business. Don't get injured. Play some guys, get them some experience. Maybe some of these guys are going to have to play in the postseason if there's an injury. But, Andy, just keep doing what you're doing because whatever you're doing is working.
Well, I look at this. How far should they, how should they scheme up the win against Sunday? I would say let Taylor Swift call the plays, guys. You even rest Andy Reid. You put him down. You even let Nick's son come out there and call defense. You know what I mean? Hey, you put the people out there that don't need to be out there. You rest everybody else up. Whatever happens. You got the number 1 seed. Go on about your day and enjoy.
Maybe Matt Nagy calls the whole game. We'll see.
Do y'all really want to see 2 divisional y'all Chargers and the Broncos in the playoffs? Do y'all really want to see that a team that knows y'all so well? I know the hate for the Bengals is real. I know it, but do y'all really want to see somebody that knows y'all? Really? Upset? I mean, do y'all really want to see that?
I think
So is the question, who do we want to see?
Yeah.
Or is it what are the Chiefs?
No, I just think what kind of game plan should Andy have?
I think the Chiefs fear the Bengals. I do believe it.
This is I believe, now again, this is just me. I believe they're going to treat this as they would the third exhibition game at the end of camp.
Yeah.
The only difference is you have a much more limited roster. So there's really not a ton of guys you can sit. And certainly you want to give Carson Wentz the best chance to be successful. So you don't want to throw in a bunch of backup linemen either. And with this offensive line being, I guess it's only like the, second or third week that they've been playing like this, you'd like to see them, keep some continuity maybe gain a little bit more cohesiveness, if you would. So I think those guys will probably play. I mean, I just there's only so many that you can sit. There's only so many inactives that you can have. 5. There's only so many call-ups you can have. So if the wisdom is that Patrick's not going to play, that Pops isn't going to play, that Chris Jones probably isn't going to play, that there's a good chance that, I don't know, do you put Travis out there? I mean, do you need him out there? You got plenty of tight ends that can kind of take up the slack. So after that, it's just going to, you're not going to show a ton, right? Because it is a divisional opponent, they know you know them. So I don't know that the thought process has anything to do with how this implicates the playoffs outside of getting some guys rest.
You didn't knock Nick out the box. Where did Nick go?
It's a whiteout.
It is. I don't know where Nick.
Usually it's a blackout, but today we have a whiteout.
We have white.
Damn.
Well,
no, that's a good point though. Yeah, I don't see shit, but white. There you go.
There we go.
Nah, Bug, that's a good point, Lou. Like I said, both teams know each other, so it just depends on what they do. It's like Nick stated, I don't think the Chiefs want to lose against the Broncos anyway.
The Chiefs had the advantage in either scenario. If they win, they don't have to face the Broncos. If they lose, they haven't beat the team twice in the same season, so chances are they can win 2 out of 3 in the postseason if they see them.
Well, the bottom line is they're not going to see this team, whatever team it is, anyway.
Against the Bills.
This team goes and plays in Buffalo. Whoever that 7 seed is going to Buffalo to play and probably get their asses killed.
Bills are going down. Who's we?
Bills are going down.
Who is we, sir?
Me, and my guys.
The Cardinals?
The Who Dey Nation. The Who Dey Nation.
Or the Colts?
We're not talking about Minnesota because honestly, though, Nick,
honorary member
is a Vikings fan underneath. He's a Vikings fan.
I'm a Packers fan underneath. It's all good.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay, Bo. It's okay, Bo.
Coach is the Bengals agent behind enemy lines.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, so we'll see what happens. We'll see what Andy was pretty light on details today. Obviously, he knows what he's doing, but he's going to share with anybody.
I don't think you're going to get any details all week, actually.
No.
So we'll just have to wait till 3:30 Central Time on Sunday afternoon.
Maybe Friday he'll give some inclination on whether Patrick plays at all. But even then, it'll still have that window open that if he plays, well, I never said he wasn't.
So is the 24 Chiefs defense better than the 2023 Chiefs defense, Luke?
Absolutely not.
I'm going to say I've been saying it all year. I think it's different. I don't know that it's any better or any worse. I mean, at the end of the day, what they look at, and Spags says it all along, and I think any football fan would think, hell, if you can limit the other team from scoring, that's the most important thing. So they have a pretty good scoring against average. And no matter how you do it and what combination of guys you use, we don't care. As long as again, you just give the offense plenty of opportunities to score more points than the other team. So the pass rush seems to be coming along. Again, it depends on how you feel about the Browns and the Steelers. Is it just 2 not so good teams that they were able to kind of showcase the pass rush, taking the ball away, or is this just kind of the law of averages happening at the right time for them, where they started to get all these stats at the end of the year, which is perfect?
Honestly, I think it is better because when Snead was over here, an enforcer to takes out the number 1, and McDuffie can play his normal role in the slot.
Just like McDuffie, I think the defense is better. McDuffie got better. He had wide receivers crying on the sideline, crying to the refs. He's playing better. He have these receivers looking totally different when he's out there ripping the ball away, picking the ball up. Then you got Jaden Hicks being the guy he is. Then you got, I think it is better. I think Nick Bolton will be coming into his own. He's looking like a better linebacker out there. He's reading the offense's way better. So I think this defense is better than a 2023 defense, even though they have more sacks. I would say altogether, overall, they are better than the one
overall. I think playoff going down the stretch. I still believe 2023 defense was better because Snead took away the number one, and they played his normal position. And then again, the pressure as far as stopping the run was better. You know what I'm saying? Like collectively, Trent Quill played out of his mind. He played out of his mind last year. You know what I'm saying? So collectively, I do believe 2023.
And they only giving up 18 points. And they only give 18 points.
And their run defense. I think their run defense is better this year than it was last year.
You're right, absolutely.
And I think they've stopped the top running backs in the NFL. I mean, listen, they've played every playoff team. They're as to steal your thunder, battle tested. What's great about this defense right now is what they've accomplished over the last 4 weeks. They've just kind of come into their own. The sacks are moving up. The pressure. What they did last week without Chris Jones, Mike Dana. I haven't seen Mike Dana do bull rushes like that in maybe a year plus. Certainly before his injury last year. He's been terrific. Amenahue seems like he's got his footing. Karlaftis is looking to get paid. He's got one more year on his rookie deal along with McDuffie. McDuffie has been brilliant. Williams has played well. Tranquil seems to kind of have found his groove. Leo Chanel, I'm not really sure what Leo's doing. I know he's out there, and maybe he's
out there somewhere. Huh?
He's plugging the holes and doing the things.
They asked Leo to do a lot, and it seems like his role is matchup dependent. Yeah. So whether they have him down hand in the dirt, doesn't happen that often, but you'll see him rush the edge. You'll see him covering, running all basically nickel linebacker. He's faster than any of those guys. He's stronger than most of those guys. So I think he's a jack of all trades, and it doesn't look like he's really great at any of them. Right. But he is a very significant piece because they do move around so much. And I think there's no accident that it kind of coincides where the defense picked up when Charles came back and they started putting Trent in the nickel a lot more. Yeah. Yeah. So
I think it's a better defense. All right. Well, this is obviously the big question. It was on a lot of talk shows this morning. How will this legacy season end for the Chiefs? I'll start off.
Let me define it. I'll call the 20 right now. So like, what do we mean by legacy?
Right, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Yeah.
Let's just assume this is my assumption is the Chiefs are going to win 19 games, which will set an NFL record. They're going to three-peat. That's what I think the legacy season is for Kansas City.
Okay.
I think this is a once in a lifetime opportunity where you can basically say this is the greatest regular season football team of all time. Forget what the Dolphins did, a 14-game schedule, winning 3 playoff games. I think the Patriots, the Cowboys, the 49ers all have 18 wins. If the Chiefs win Sunday, that's why I think they're going to win. They got a chance with 3 postseason to go 19-1 to three-peat, solidify Hall of Fame careers for probably about 5 or 6 players and at least 2 coaches. I think there's a lot of things at stake here, and a lot of people seem to be more warming to the idea that this is more of a possibility. But, is it truly a legacy season if all that happens? And I'd have to say, I can't bet against the Chiefs right now. I just can't do it. What they've accomplished this year with injuries, with way they've had to, move their roster around, the way that it took coaches adjustment after adjustment to kind of get them to see the light, and everything that's taken place and still be disrespected as a 15-1 team is just remarkable to me. And I think should all these things happen, this will be the greatest team in NFL history. And they'll do things that will never be matched again, in my opinion, ever.
Yeah, I look at it as this could be a legendary season. Looking back on being a Chiefs fan, never switched a hat. But I'm just
switched from quarterback Culpepper. But go ahead.
I'm just saying.
You're a Randy Moss guy.
Looking at a legendary season. It's got to be. You know what I mean? being a Chiefs fan, I mean, I was little watching the bags.
Minnesota Vikings. He's watching the Minnesota Vikings.
The black team, everybody wearing
the Vikings, sir. You're watching Randy Moss.
The team is not the, you know what I mean? Nobody's we're picking number one in the draft. This team is legendary, man. So I'm happy to be around it. Ain't no other team that's out there, you know. I'm not in the playoffs, and he went to the Chiefs. Go ahead.
You lost the Vikings lost in the playoffs. He went to the Chiefs.
Well, I guess the question kind of answers itself. In order for it to be a legacy season, they have to go ahead and win all the rest of the games, right? Mm-hmm. If they lose any one of them, it'll just be like the Patriots, you know, losing to Eli in the Super Bowl.
What could have been?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, they'll be the first team to win 3 Super Bowls in a row. Mm-hmm. Now you'll have some people, historians and whatever, talking about the Packers, and if you add in NFL championships and then the first 2 Super Bowls, I think they won 4 or 5 in a row. I don't know.
They won 3 in a row.
But in the Super Bowl era, this would be historical, and you can't argue that. I don't care what they say. Well, it was luck. It was all these other things. You don't luck your way to 19 out of 20. You don't luck your way into, you know, beating, you know, some really good teams along the way. So it's just it's unprecedented. It's just, you know, sometimes, you know, because we're in it at this time in real time, it doesn't seem as grand. But trust me, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, they'll be talking about this team as that's the standard of all time.
I'll be in my nursing home with the pennants on the wall.
That's right.
Remember that team.
You know what's crazy, though? I definitely agree with you, Nick, man. To go 3-peat and go 19 to run the gauntlet, man, it would be very impressive. Especially with the Chiefs being through the last couple of years, man. You know, they went through every adversity to get here, man, and it'll be crazy. It'll be crazy for them to go ahead and 3-peat. So I agree with you 100%. I'm like, they will be the best team in the NFL.
I agree.
So, but looking at that, man, it's no one's going to be, you know, an argument here. You know, what team fears the Chiefs in the playoffs? You know, I mean, when it gets all here, get here.
Team fears the Chiefs in the playoffs? What are we talking about here? What do you mean? Which team fears the Chiefs? Nobody does.
You know,
the whole point of the question.
Every opponent they come up against, I would think.
Let that picture sink in your spirit. That's my guy, Joe Beasy. You know what I'm saying? I felt the spirit. I felt the power, man.
But again, go ahead. What teams fears the Chiefs in the playoffs? Lou, go ahead.
Anybody they play, you have to, because none of them have gone as far. I mean, it's, you know, Buffalo and Baltimore, maybe it's not fear, but they certainly have some anxiety about it because of what's happened to them in the past when they've been on the doorstep. And the Grim Reaper comes out and says, not today, not here, no chance. So, and then the NFC teams, maybe they don't know them enough, but I think they know enough. You know, Philadelphia's got to have some PTSD, that's for sure. San Francisco's out of the playoffs, so you know they're not really in it. So now these other teams are got to be like, I don't know. I mean, they must be pretty good.
Lou, like I said before, it's the curse of the Chiefs, man. You play them. It's just the question should have been, what AFC team fears coming?
You got power.
Come into Arrowhead. You come into Arrowhead. You know what I mean? Hey, this is like a hunted place, right? You come in here, you think you're going to win something, but you never win anything because you always win a jackal in a hat or something like that. But it doesn't matter.
Yeah, you're going to get the prom queen.
I think Burrow found the kryptonite for Superman. I think Burrow did that.
He's 1-1 in the AFC title
I'm just
game.
saying. They 1-1. I'm just saying. Nick Burrow definitely doesn't fear the Chiefs.
No, he does not.
He don't fear.
He doesn't fear him. I don't think. Listen,
I think Lamar Jackson. I think Lamar Jackson probably. Honestly, I think the Baltimore Ravens fear the Kansas City Chiefs.
I think so too.
Everybody does fear the Chiefs.
Because Lamar is out of sorts. When he plays the Chiefs, he stopped following his scheme of things. He's trying to be buried in Mahomes. You want to drop back and pass. He's trying to be better, man.
Let's give seriously though. Let's give Spags some credit for that too.
Oh, absolutely.
Where you might be some unscouted looks, some of those simulated pressures that he should see in practice, because between McDonald and now Orr, they kind of live in that world.
Yep.
But again, that would be the one that I would think the teams fear the most, is catching Spags' defense and just really kind of not knowing what's going to happen, because you're gonna get some pressures that you haven't
Spags
seen
is
yet.
Candyman shit.
Some ones that are simulated that you might be seeing ghosts with. So that's the one, I guess.
He's a genius. He's a genius. Yes, he is. I
think there's one team that does not fear the Chiefs. And that's the team they're playing Sunday. I think the Denver Broncos. I think they have the right mindset.
Mm-hmm.
I think they have the right coaching, who make the players understand we don't fear. The Broncos are doing something that no other team who's played the Chiefs is doing. They're building a team
Lou don't want to hear it.
You have to beat, not a team that can beat Kansas City. And I think they're very wise and very smart, regardless of what happens when they make the playoffs or not. I fear the Broncos more than I fear the Chargers. Obviously, I'll never fear the Raiders.
The Chargers is different, boy.
Just because, the Chargers are different because they're winning the close games they lost last year. They didn't play a particularly, let's be honest, not a very difficult schedule. Certainly the Broncos haven't. The Broncos are 1-5 against playoff teams, and that's assuming the Tampa Bay Bucks are going to make the playoffs. If not, they're gonna be over.
Both those teams are probably one draft away from being really
correct,
really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the AFC West is here to stay. But to me, the mentality of the Broncos, I think the rah-rah stuff with Harbaugh is ultimately they're gonna get there.
Yeah.
At some point, maybe. I still say Harbaugh is going to win a Super Bowl in the next, and not this year, but in 4 years before he retires at age 65. I think he's going to win a Super Bowl. I really believe that. I think Peyton is riding everything on Bo Nix. If not, he's making $18 million a year. He gave it a shot, and he can go back to to retiring again.
Bo Nix been stepping up too, man.
But Bo Nix, again, does he have the pressure? So last question, fill in the blank. The Kansas City Chiefs
they're still got Russ's number on the books.
Yeah, they do. They still have Russ's number one more year.
The fill in the blank. The Kansas City Chiefs are
trash.
They are battle tested. They are battle tested. Anybody that claims
that's two words. Hey, there's only one blank.
It's only one word allowed.
There's only one blank there, Hense.
Right. Battle tested. That's what they are.
Fair. Man, that's no damn. That's 2 words, man.
Battle tested.
Go ahead. What was it? What was Thanos? The Kansas City Chiefs are inevitable.
Yeah.
There you go. I can't top that one. That's pretty good.
It is. It is, man.
But again, before we go out of here, Nick threw this question in there, so let's go ahead and answer it.
All right,
why?
Here it is.
Go ahead, Nick.
So why is Mahomes better than Allen or Jackson or Joe Burrow? You added the Burrow.
What the hell?
Well, no. Here's the thing, and we talked about this before the show.
We did. Go ahead, Nick. Go ahead.
Let's set this up, and that's kind of why.
We do.
Yeah, we talk about this a lot. But the reason I wanted to include this was because of kind of what we talked about before, because I knew it was inevitable.
Right.
So Mahomes,
that's a good word, Nick.
That's a damn good word.
Yes, thank you. Appreciate that. So I think with Patrick Mahomes, and again, Lou and I are the senior guys here. We had that 5-decade gap where
that's still an issue here. I mean, we're
Okay, you were a little younger for the first one.
I'm just saying we're the senior members.
Okay, so I'm the senior member.
Anybody that watches this knows that the 2 guys in the middle are damned old.
We just say that in jest because we're just kind of making fun of ourselves. And then we've got the 2 youngins here on the opposite end.
The youngs.
So I look at this and I listen to all these experts, and I see all these fan bases are fighting over one thing. Who's the MVP? Is it Allen? Is it Jackson? Is it Burrow? There's no mention of Patrick Mahomes. You can't tell me he's not the best quarterback in the National Football League. You can't tell me he's got more bling than anybody else. You can't tell me he wants to win more and knows how to win better than anyone of these guys.
But we do have to limit it to this year, though. If you're talking
so
MVP.
I'm just saying, but for this season,
MVP and who's better, two different things. Actually,
okay, I understand that, but for this season, he's better because of one pure ingredient. He's done it. He's won Super Bowls. He's won at home. He's won on the road. He knows how to learn. He's also learned. He learns from his mistakes. He made a lot of mistakes this season. Now he's better. This offense is playing the best football it's played in 2 seasons. And that's because Mahomes said, okay, we're not going to be flashy. We're not going to do all the things we talked about in the offseason where we said we're going to throw the ball deep. We're going to go back to the Tyreek Hill kind of offense. Too many injuries. So what's he do? Give me 6 yards at a play. Give me 8 yards at a play. Give me 10. So and I think that's what makes him so much better than all these guys.
I don't know if this explains it in terms of the MVP, but let's fill in different names. We'll throw in LeBron, Jokic, and Embiid. Okay. So you've got, a lot of statistics.
Yep.
In that particular year, maybe he had a, again, statistically better season. But who do you want running the show? Who do you want with the ball in their hands at the end of the game, no matter who you're going against, no matter the circumstances, whatever? There is no question here. It's the guy that's first. In terms of MVP this year, I think you got to give it to one of the first 2 guys, either Allen or Jackson, just because those teams, I think more so Buffalo, because the narrative going into the season was they lost too much. They can't win without those guys or whatever. And Josh just kind of put on the Superman cape and has lifted the entire, not just he's doing everything, but he's made everybody around
the morale
him
of the team. Yeah.
He's carrying that football
now,
team.
Patrick kind of doing the same thing. It's just not as flashy, right? A lot of the stuff is understated. And again, in situational football, you still are going to take Patrick because it's just he's done it so many times. But if you're just looking at specifically this year, then I think the MVP goes to one of those guys, Allen or Jackson. You can pick which one. I might say Allen just because of going into the season. I think the expectations for the Bills weren't quite as high as they were for the Ravens.
Right. You got to give him something this year.
So
I'm going to say, honestly, in my end, I'm going to say this.
I'm going to say, why is Mahomes better than Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, and Joe Burrow? It's only one reason, guys. When they came home late, the street lights was off, and they got their ass whooped. And that's all that matters. It all that matters. You got the street law. They came home late, and they got their butt whooped by one man, and that's one man right there, and that's Patrick Mahomes. So we can sit here and say Joe Burrow, we can argue Josh Allen, we can argue Lamar Jackson, MVP. It doesn't matter. When they all got to go into this man's house and face this one man on gimpy legs, ankles, taped up knee pads, no matter what he has, bum ankles or whatever, he's still find a way to execute him, get him out of the game. So Mahomes is better than all 3. Doesn't matter.
I'm gonna say this. Why is the question is why is Mahomes better than Allen Jackson and Joe Burrow? I think y'all 2 have stated, Nick and Lou. He just situational football in terms of this question. Yes, Mahomes, the person I want with the ball to win games is Patrick Mahomes because he's been here. He got championships. He got rings, right? But as far as this year going. Now, all these quarterbacks went through a lot. Mahomes went through the offensive line, been crazy. And he has been off target in the last couple of games, right? Off target. Not the best season for Patrick Mahomes, right? Allen, he doesn't have Diggs no more, right? And he lifting his team up, right? Moving that ball at will, being the leader, the head honcho for Buffalo, right? And then you got Jackson, right? Playing outstanding, playing phenomenal, right? With Flowers and whatnot, making plays and like in clutch moments, being the guy. outstanding, right? But we look at what Joe Burrow had to deal with, right? Because like Hense, we speaking on Arrowhead, coming to Arrowhead and street lights coming on, getting spankings and all the other crazy shit. It came down to a PI. It came down to a PI.
Mahomes had to do with the same thing. Mahomes had to do with the same thing.
Look at, man, let me get my take, man.
Had his team winning.
God dang,
you winning, man.
Your team go back to Minnesota. No,
is there any way we can turn those two off for a second?
So listen,
first off, give me 10 seconds. Shout out to young native Tino 64.
Yes.
Love you bringing all the statistics and all that stuff, and love that you've come to the show and you've decided to comment, tell your friends, come back always. The numbers are the numbers. We know that, and we know that Patrick's. I mean,
it's not Dre. It's the
hardware he has. None of these guys are ever going to match.
So hold on.
So if that,
I'm saying this,
we'll just take that out of the argument now. But just for this season, just this season, if you're talking about MVP, it's probably going to go to one of those two guys, Josh or Lamar. And it just depends on who who the voters like better. Because I think either one of them could get it, and I'm not going to be upset either way.
No, Lou, what you stated earlier, you said the people already made their choices going into the playoffs, so they already narrowed it down to the guys they want going in. Right?
It's a regular season.
That's what I'm saying, regular season award, right? What I'm stating is this. So it to me, honestly, this is how I see it now. This is how I see it now. So if you are winning above 500 team. Then if you're above 500 team, you win in your division, you are considered MVP, right?
Well, I think it gives you the opportunity to be like among the guys getting votes.
Correct.
Or at least at the top, like in the top. Not being in the playoffs is less than ideal. You would have to do something historical, I believe, to get the MVP, or it's just a year like last year where it was like, we don't know who to give it to, so we're going to give it to Lamar, because Lamar's certainly having a much better year this year than he did last year.
Right.
Yeah.
But in this season where you have two guys playing at an elite level, quarterbacks leading their teams to division championships, playoffs, it's going to be hard to overtake those guys if you're not also in the playoffs and leading your team to victories.
So from an individual standpoint, Joe Burrow is number one. It's a number one QB. Remember I stated some guys back in the day, they didn't even go to the playoffs and they still got MVP. You know what I'm saying? So if you look at
it was a pretty short list if we recall.
No, it's still, but what I'm saying is this, he's still playing at a high level. And then if he makes it to the playoffs, that's phenomenal to go through what he went through and all this to get to the
I don't know. What exactly did he
go through?
You go to a bad horrendous season.
But why was it a bad horrendous season?
Coaching, man. Bad coaching, bad defense.
They started 1-5. Hold on.
Yeah, the team wasn't very good defensively. There's no question.
And offensively, during that 1-5 streak, they made a lot of mistakes.
Right.
And either way, regardless, that's all noise or whatever. But when you're looking specifically, the most valuable player, it's good. I'm repeating myself, but it's very difficult to overcome guys that are statistically similar, right? But are division champions and are well placed in the playoffs, and you are hoping a bunch of other teams win so you can just get in.
Let me ask you this. If Burrow doesn't play, Bengals are trash, stink, dumpster. They wash.
Well, you can
if Josh Allen doesn't play, are they still respectable? If Lamar Jackson doesn't play, are they still respectable? They go to Mahomes. If Mahomes doesn't play, are the Chiefs still a playoff team?
No.
Probably
not.
If Mahomes doesn't play right now,
who's lost more? Who's lost more people? Who's lost more high profile?
Again,
this is what the award is about. The award is about the most valuable player, the most valuable player to your team.
Can we say that unequivocally, though? Right. No, there are no definitive rules to it.
Josh Allen is the most valuable player.
AP writers will vote who they think was the most valuable player, and typically they look at. I would imagine most of these writers, unless the games are on national TV, right? What are they doing on Sundays? they're in a press box writing stories about the game that they're covering.
I'll put it like this, guys, before we close.
So they're going to have to watch statistics. They're going to have to watch highlights, and then in national games, maybe standalone games, if they're not at the stadium, then they can watch. Say, oh my God, Josh Allen went off against 2 games in a row. They lost to the Rams, but then they beat Detroit. That's it. That's my MVP right there. And you're not going to change that person's mind.
Joe Burrow lost to Jalen Daniels, sir. So Joe Burrow lost to a lot of other teams. And Patrick Mahomes had the same.
Let me ask you this, Bo. If Patrick Mahomes does not play.
Let him finish. Hold on, Andre. Go ahead.
I'm just saying. I was saying Patrick Mahomes still had the same offense like Joe Burrow and them had, in the same defense like Lou stated earlier. This is probably the same team, but Patrick Mahomes still found ways.
He threw for 5,050, but they still were. They won their division.
Still found ways to win, and Joe Burrow and them can't find ways to win. So
but honestly, the Chiefs defense actually carried them. Come on, don't say like Burrow then was trying. The defense was let me ask you this, Bo. If Carson Wentz take over, if Carson Wentz take over, listen though, if Carson Wentz take over this year, if Carson Wentz take over this year, right? Burrow Mahomes go down. Carson Wentz take over right this year. Are the Chiefs a playoff caliber team still?
They would still make the playoffs.
They would be competitive, yeah.
They're going to make the playoffs, right?
No question.
But that speaks.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's the coaching.
No. It's the coaching. That speaks more to Carson Wentz and saying that maybe Cincinnati's backup isn't as good as Carson Wentz. Okay, now do you think
we're going in circles here.
You think Mitch Trubisky?
Hold on, let the man talk. Going in circles. Let the man
it's like Mitch Trubisky in Buffalo. Is he going to lead them to the playoffs? He might. He led the Bears to the playoffs somehow. Hey, by the way, who was the play caller and head coach? Matt Nagy. Wow. Okay. But the point is, Dre, you can't. You start making all these other weird.
It's not weird because, like I said, you take away Patrick Mahomes, they still got good coaching.
But we don't have to take them away. We're looking at.
I'm just saying, who's the valuable player, Lou? Who's the valuable player without their start?
You know what's great?
Coaching.
But if you went down that list, that formula, you would have 20 candidates at least.
You know what's great?
Who do you eliminate then?
The whole reason I wanted to do this segment was because this is the exact same conversation they're having in Buffalo. It's the exact same conversation they're having in Cincinnati. It's the exact same conversation they're having in Baltimore. They all think their guy's the best. And I'll go on record. I'm wearing the blue today. Josh Allen is the 2024 MVP. Yeah, Jayhawks opened the Big 12 season tomorrow against West Virginia on ESPN Plus.
Let's go, Mountaineers.
Yeah.
But again, nice subject. I'm not attacking Dre. I just don't like the Bears.
I don't care if you're attacking me or not, sir. What you mean? I'm not attacking Dre, bro.
I think it's a great debate.
To the sponsor.
And it will be this every year because you just don't know how these voters what they're considering, right?
The night before the Super Bowl, we will find out.
That's right.
I
think Josh Allen gonna get it. Honestly, I already know Josh Allen gonna get it, man.
Well, when I look at it, it's gonna be last time they gave it to Lamar Jackson because his record. So why would they give it to Patrick Mahomes for his record?
These are the 4 best quarterbacks in the AFC.
Yes, guys.
That's all there's to it. All right, before we head out, let's talk about our sponsors. First up,
arguably
Mr. Eric Haynes with the Eric Haynes Group. If you're looking for someone to help you buy or sell a house in the greater Kansas City metropolitan area, give Eric a call at 816-729-3785, or you can email him at esellskc@gmail.com.
Proud sponsor of Chief.
Right now, the proud sponsor is my amazing, incredible wife, Emily Athan. Yes, I outkicked my coverage, but if you want the best health coverage, whether that's a government option or a private option, she knows the market better than anybody. Give her a call today at 913-215-9086 for your free quote.
Emily.
And next up, our newest sponsor at Resell Electronics.
Best deals on new and used electronics at Resell Electronics. TVs, laptops, Apple Watches, cameras, cell phones, plus so much more. And if you're into gaming, we carry new gen as well as vintage consoles. Resell Electronics in Independence.
And that's right. If you're looking for a blast from your past, this is the best place to go. If you're looking for something new, this is also the best place to go for any of your consumer electronics. They buy and they sell. and you definitely want to check out their store. They got 2 locations, both in Independence, 1214 Nolan Road, and also down on 40 Highway Nolan Road inside the flea market. If you walk in the store, just tell them that Chiefs Blitz and Bowtie Sports sent you, and you'll get 10% off. For all the great deals and specials, check out their website at www.resellwithacectronics.com.
Resell. Electronics.
That's right. All right, fabulous show, guys. We will be back Wednesday. It will be the beginning of 2025. It's officially will be the year of who knows?
My daughter's birthday.
January 1st?
Yeah, New Year's, baby. She was about 1 minute.
Wow.
Before she catered, I think we lost Nick.
Most definitely. Congrats. All right, we had a few glitches today, so I think we'll cross our fingers and take that as the show. Hense, Lou, Andre, you're my brothers. Appreciate you guys, all the stuff you did for us in 2024. We turn the page on another year on Wednesday. We'll be back at 1:30 Central Time, and we will, who knows what the topic will be. We'll figure it out. We'll get with Mango, and we'll come up with something great.
Absolutely.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year's, fellas.
Peace out.
Mm-hmm.